Hello, my name is Lauren Smith, and today I will be doing a final reflection on the IDT standards for teaching. The first IDT standard out of the 5 standards says to facilitate and inspire learning and creativity. I chose the instructional comic, which is on the left, to correlate with the substandard B, which says to engage students in real-world issues and solve authentic problems using digital tools and resources. This comic helps students gain a better insight on the bombing of the Twin Towers in New York City, which killed a lot of people and damaged a lot of buildings. Students learn this historical fact in an interesting way, which was through a cartoon-based comic. The real-world issue was a 9/11 event, and the digital tool that was used was to make the comic was called Toondo. Also, the substandard C was addressed under standard number 1 with our Weebly portfolios, which says to promote student reflection using collaborative tools to reveal and clarify students' conceptual understanding and thinking, planning, and creative processing. Every week we had to turn in an assignment, and at the end of the assignment we had to do a 3-part reflection. The first part was the standard that was used to do or complete the assignment. The second part was to tell what you've learned from this assignment, and the third part was how would you use it in your future. The second standard says to design and develop digital age learning experiences and assessments. I created a PowerPoint presentation that covered the major milestones of the Civil Rights Movement and the struggles African Americans and other minorities went through to gain equality for all people in the United States, which is on the left. It correlated with the substandard D, which says to provide students with multiple and varied formative and summative assessments aligned with content and technology standards, and use resulting data to inform learning and teaching. The presentation, Also, in my presentation, I inserted short quizzes that students could answer as a whole in class, and the teacher would use the students' feedback to assess whether they are listening or do they have knowledge on the material that was just covered. In my initial lesson plan, it correlated with the substandard C, which says to customize and personalize learning activities to address students' diverse learning styles, working strategies, and abilities to use digital tools and resources. In this lesson plan, students learn about the Emancipation Proclamation's causes and effects on our country. Students had to use digital tools such as computers and paper stainers to complete this lesson. Students were required to create their own proclamation of what they wanted to do or improve on in the school year. For example, if students wanted to be a better student or a better learner, or be good in class, or not use drugs, or make the honor roll, or whatever goal they had set out for them, that was to make a proclamation on that and turn it in at the end of class. If they did not finish it during class, they had the option of turning it in the next day. The third standard says to model digital age work and learning. For the web quest, it correlated with the substandard C, which says to communicate relevant information and ideas effectively to students, parents, and peers using a variety of digital age media and formats. Students were given handouts that gave them a URL to my web quest along with questions that has to be answered. Basically, they did research. So if the question said, when did Martin Luther King get assassinated? They were to log on to my web quest and find out the answer to it and write it down on the worksheet. On the spreadsheets it correlated with substandard D, which says model and facilitate effective use of current and emerging digital tools to locate, analyze, evaluate, and use information resources to support research and learning. And basically what we did, we used the Microsoft Excel software to create a spreadsheet to display the calories that Wendy's had versus Burger King versus McDonald's, and one that's not pictured, which is Backyard Burger. And we researched this and logged in the answers we got and inserted it into our spreadsheets, and that's how we got our answers. And we used a legit website which supported our research and learning. The IDT standard number 4 says to promote and model digital citizenship and responsibility. My two examples we learned about this semester was the discussion questions in eCourseWare and citing. Discussion questions correlate with Substandard C, which says promote and model digital etiquette and responsible social interactions related to the use of technology information. Earlier in the semester, we got two questions from Professor Knowles. The first one says, asks us what was technology integration? And the second one asks, what are the do's and don'ts of online etiquette? And from that, we learn to respect each other's creative differences. We learn not to write in all capital letters, be nice to our peers, and just respect each other in general, and be mindful of what we post or put online, because everybody can see it, and some things we post may not be nice and may offend other people, so be mindful of what we post. And citing correlates with the substandard A under standard 4, which says participate in local and global learning communities to explore creative applications of technology to improve student learning. And what I've learned since being in the teaching program and IDT period is they are big on citing. And in this class, I learned that I must document when I borrow anything I find online that belongs to someone else. If I use a rubric I find online, I must document where it came from. And in my second lesson plan, I taught students about graphic organizers and about not taking people's facts that they put about certain historical figures or events online, not to just take those facts and write them down on the paper exactly how they have it. Put in your own words and still cite where you got the information from, because it is not right stealing people's material and claiming credit for it like you did. So I taught them not to steal people's work or information and claim it and act like it's theirs. Cite it, always cite it. And we learned this semester to respect each other's creative differences and always treat our neighbors nice. IDT standard number 5 says to engage in professional growth and leadership. Under graphic organizers, it correlated with substandard A, which says exhibit leadership by demonstrating a vision of technology infusion, participating in shared decision making and community building, and developing the leadership and technology skills of others. And under the technology realm, it correlated with substandard C, which says contribute to the effectiveness, vitality, and self-renewal of the teaching profession and of their school and community.